Welcome back to our Advent journey following the path of Our Lady of Guadalupe and Saint Juan Diego. And we're at this climax moment when Juan Diego has met the Blessed Mother. She's allowed her to finally transform his own heart. So now we're about to see how Juan Diego started to respond in very concrete ways and steps, and how we can follow along that same invitation. Let's jump right into our Nikan Mopowa segment for today. The Heavenly Queen immediately gave him a command. She told him to climb the summit of the little hill, the very place where he had seen her before. She said to him, "Climb, you who are the least of my sons, to the summit of the hill. And there, where you saw me and where I gave you my instruction, you will see a variety of flowers spread out. Cut them, gather them, put them all together, then come down right away and bring them here into my presence." And immediately, Juan Diego climbed the little hill. Well, this is one of the shorter segments of the Nikan Mopowa we've been meditating on. I will make good on that word where I said that I was only going to do this for a maximum of 7 to 5 minutes. And some of these episodes have been, 4 minutes. So yes, this is one of those shorter segments. Juan Diego now has to make his interior spiritual experience into a physical reality, just as his soul moved from being paralyzed and impoverished by sorrow to being crowned by the love of God. Now it's time to take it into action. Now he must take concrete steps and climb from the base of the hill to the summit. This ascent that happens in Juan Diego's soul is also a spiritual climb initiated by God's own action. Now think about St. Therese of Lisieux, the little flower. She talks a lot about how many people try to climb toward God through their own merits and efforts, but they don't get very far. Some, through some very rigorous discipline and sheer willpower, sure can make a considerable distance, but the path that Therese proposes is exactly like Juan Diego's. We don't get far by our own merits and efforts. We get carried. We abandon ourselves completely to the power and the action of God, who comes as a father, or in our case, through the Mother, the Blessed Mother, and lifts the little ones onto his shoulders, carrying them home. It's about a total surrender. Regardless, though, it's still an invitation for us to take concrete steps. No one is going to climb that little hill other than us by our own will and our own acceptance of this invitation. Now, Juan Diego is invited to physically climb and resume his mission. His spiritual encounter demands concrete steps in the material world. The works that accompany our spiritual life, yes, they're necessary. They're a tangible manifestation of meeting with God. As Scripture tells us, faith without works is just dead. Our charity toward God and our charity toward our neighbors, this is the dynamic at the core of our discipleship. This Advent season has been about inviting us to plunge into this reality, into Christ, and prepare the way for His birth to illuminate everything in you. I want to invite you today to climb high. Literally, if you can, yes, preferably in a literal sense, go to a high place. Or maybe spiritually, yes. Well, in the Bible, mountains have always had this profound spiritual relevance. They're the places where sacrifices were offered, where altars were built, where special encounters with the Lord took place. Think of Mount Sinai, or the Mount of Transfiguration. It's the same thing that's happening for Juan Diego. The personal and spiritual encounter invites him now to go toward a summit, and that's where the Lord is inviting you today to go as well. Where is this summit? Where can you go meet him? And maybe the summit is a chapel, but maybe there is an actual high place where you can go, maybe a roof, or maybe somewhere, I don't know, where that perspective of seeing things from high allows you to be in this different spiritual dynamic, right? So what's the spiritual mountain that you need to climb today, or can climb today, to meet with the Lord? Thank you so much for joining us on this Advent journey. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. This podcast is brought to you by Juan Diego Network, a project by Juan Diego and Friends Incorporated, a nonprofit seeking to attract people on the internet to in-person Christian community and the sacraments. Visit JuanDiegoandFriends.com to check out our other missionary initiatives.